Hello, everybody, and welcome to College Football Showtime. We are finally coming into the 2025 season, and week one is right around the corner. In fact, it's happening here in the next day. This is Joe. I'm here with Aaron, and we're here to talk to you today about these dynamic teams that are going to be playing this weekend. We've got some top teams, top games basically, that we're going to talk about and share with you our ideas of who's going to play, who's going to make a difference, and who's going to come out winning. First of all, we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time joining us, thank you for joining us. Click on that like button, click on that subscribe button, and share our content. You can always visit us on our Twitter page, which is College S12935, or if you can get to us on our website, which is www.collegefootballshowtime.com. That is a great way to get information as well, not only on the bigger teams, but on our smaller teams as well. We've got videos on there and lots of great articles that you can catch up on your favorite team. All right, Aaron, how's it going, man? It's been a good, quick summer.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now for everybody that is watching this show right now. Your long waited is over. You have waited the long months, the hot summers, and you have waited for this time to come. No more talking season anymore. No more telling whose team is better, whose team is not better. You can actually prove it on the field this Saturday and this coming weekend during Labor Weekend. So everyone has a chance now to go prove themselves who is the best team in the country and compete in the national championship and possibly be in the playoff.
Do your talking on the field.
So you have a shot now. It's no more talking season anymore. It's time to shut up and put up.
That's it.
It comes football season. It's good to be back with everybody.
It is great to
And
be
it's
back.
week one. So we have some big time matchups to come up and talk about. So here we go.
It is great to be back. I mean, people have been itching for this for weeks. And I'll tell you what, the excitement is just in the air. Everybody's ecstatic. So let's get started. And we've got our first, we're going to put up some slides here so everybody can see what we're talking about. And we're going to go forward from there. We're going to talk about our first game here. And it is the one that everybody has been talking about and have been anticipating. Texas versus Ohio State. That's going to be Saturday, noon Eastern. Y'all, they're going to be playing in Ohio Stadium at Columbus, Ohio. Man, everybody's looking for Arch Manning.
Yes, and this will be a college football semifinal rematch from this past year, from last year. So this will be a rematch between these two teams versus Texas and Ohio State. So who will win round two going into Columbus this weekend is going to be the biggest question.
Tell us what you got on this chart here. I see we got some great stuff going on.
Well, you know the two head coaches for these teams. You know Steve Sarkisian for Texas, and you know Ryan Day from Ohio State, who just won the national championship. So you're going to have these two head coaches battle again for the second time in the past 12 months. So you got key players on each side that we need to talk about on these two teams here. So the name that's been talked about probably for the past 2 years since he signed with Texas and Steve Sarkisian, is Arch Manning. So you have Arch Manning going to be in his first big game. This is not going to be his first start, but it is going to be his first big game start going against Ohio State. So this is going to be very interesting. How is Arch Manning going to handle this environment? And he has come out in some indications in the media and said that he hasn't proven anything. So yes, he wants to prove to the whole nation and to the whole college football world that he can compete in this level and be a quality quarterback for Texas and their offense.
What a pound of weight. In fact, it's more than a pound of weight. It's tons and tons of weight on this young man's shoulder. He's coming behind Quinn. I always get his name wrong because I'm bad with names.
Quinn Ewers.
Ewers.
Yeah.
And there's been such anticipation about Arch Manning. It's been in the news like you say, for the past 2 years, but this past year, it has been almost daily. Everybody is anticipating. I'm going to tell you just how much this Manning name, there's so much weight on this young man. Even fans in the NFL are already talking about this young man, and they're anticipating him to come to the draft this year, which I'm sure he's not, going to do that. He's going to go all the way through with his education and as far as he can, of course, with Texas. But I'm saying the amount of weight that is on this young man's shoulder, and he's got to get out there and really shine, really prove himself. And anything happens in football.
Yeah, for sure. And when you think about Arch and his family has said he will not declare even if he has a Heisman type year this year, that he will not enter the draft this coming year.
Right.
So you expect him to be there 2 years. So I think that's really good for him. Get as much tape out in college as you can. So I don't see that as a bad thing.
All right, go ahead and continue. You were on a great roll here. You got some other stuff.
Well, you got Colin Simmons, who's going to be a very key factor on that Texas defense. How does he go against a new starting quarterback on the other side that we're going to talk about later? And how does he keep pressure, and how does he stay consistent and be a player that can dominate this game and bring a lot of stress to this Buckeyes offense where they can't be efficient on offense? So he's going to be a key player in this matchup. They do have a very experienced defensive lineman. They got some guys out of the portal. So this defensive front is going to be very key in, and they're going to be dialed in. So I'm going to be very interested in Colin Simmons and the defensive front for Texas.
Okay. We also have something on here concerning the weather that's going to, at least predicted to go take place in Columbus. On Saturday, we're looking at, partly sunny skies, and it's going to be really nice. They look for 74 degrees. Oh, that sounds wonderful. And there's a 6% chance of rain. So guess what? They're going to be an ideal football weather for Saturday.
So they should be good to go. So it shouldn't be any passing deficiencies going in this game. So we should be looking for Ryan Ringos to have a good game as well for Texas as well. So he's been a highly talented player going in. So this 5-star wide receiver who had some time last year, he didn't make as many productive plays for them last year, but they do like him as a player, and he was highly talented going out of high school. So Ryan Wingo is going to be very key in this game as well. On going against this secondary. Well, he will be facing Caleb Downs on the other side for Ohio State. Is a player that we need to talk about for Ohio State as well. So that's going to be a key matchup, him against Caleb Downs. So how is that matchup going to be going into the game? Is going to be very interesting. And you think about the Ohio State offense as well. We need to talk about that side as well, because going in with a new quarterback in Julian Sayin, this is second year with the program with Ryan Day, and a thing that he can rely on most of the game is going to be the most outstanding player, that is Jeremiah Smith. He dominated college football last year as a true freshman, was on the first team All-American team last year, preseason All-American team this year. So he's going to be that guy that Julian Sayin can rely on going into the week one against Texas in their home opener.
Awesome. All right. Vegas has these guys kind of playing real close. Okay. The way they see it, this is going to be a slobber knocker.
Which is a good way to say that.
Yeah. It's going to be a slobber knocker. So Vegas has Ohio State the favorite. Okay. 2 points.
Yeah, it could go either way. And you got to give the edge to Ohio State because of home field advantage.
Right.
Yeah, so that's not really surprising. So I could really see any one of these teams winning. Is what you could really say for another matchup that's later in our talk as well.
Right. But we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, 2 points. They really think this is going to be a close game.
Yeah.
Over and under is 47.5. And they also think this is going to be a high scoring game. Me personally,
I'll go under.
yeah, I
Yeah,
would too.
yeah. Just because of the new quarterbacks. If it is somewhere in that 47 range, then I
I would
wouldn't be
be
shocked. I
surprised.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
shocked by it.
I'd be a little surprised. I think it would come a little under that, but um, we'll see. This
Yeah.
looks like this is going to be a good game. That'll be on Saturday at noon Eastern. Ohio State, Texas. Everybody's been talking about that one.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to number 2. We've got Auburn
Oh boy.
versus Baylor. That will be also a very, very good game that's coming up.
And just looking at this matchup and all the comments I've been hearing from Hugh Freeze, and not deciding the quarterback, but from what I've been hearing, it's going to be Jackson Arnold. And the kind of the comments he said about letting the defense lay off the quarterback and let him bring up some confidence. I don't like those comments that he made in SEC media days, and it's kind of been repeated all through fall camp. So they can't decide of a guy who's going to lead the charge for the Auburn Tigers. So I'm kind of worried for that offense. But when you look on the other side of the football, it's the opposite because you got everybody returning for that offense. It's Sauer Robertson at quarterback. You get your top running back. You get your 2 top wide receivers back. You get all your offensive linemen back. So you have at least 10 guys starting that are coming back on that Baylor team. And just looking at the film for them, they are very explosive. They like to push the ball down the field. They're a very vertical team. So if there's one game you could call an upset, this would be the one because I got some worries with Auburn, and just not for this game, but in the future. So I'm kind of really worried about Auburn going in this coming year.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that as well. And it seems like to me, Dave Aranda has really got something to prove this year, and I think he can do it. I really do. I think he's got the people. I think he's got the uh, the players, and he seems like he feels really good with what he's doing, with what he's got. And that game's going to be Friday, August the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And they're going to be playing in Waco. They will be playing in
Yeah,
Waco.
which makes me don't feel any more better because I just look at this overall team for Baylor, and it's looking really good. They could be a dark horse for playoffs for the Big 12.
Right. Tell me some other things that you got going on with this particular game.
Well, if Auburn has a chance, they're gonna have to get Eric Singleton involved. That transfer they got from Georgia Tech, so he's a very dynamic player who has gotten rare reviews from people from the Auburn camp, and they really like his potential. So they're gonna have to really use him for this offense. Whoever they're starting at quarterback, either Jackson Arnold, whoever is behind him. So they're gonna have to use Eric Singleton to get this offense moving. But this defense is gonna have to hold on and keep this into the fourth quarter and build this into a tight fourth quarter game if they want to come out with the win and keep the big plays from happening from the other team.
As far as the forecast that is predicted for that particular area, it is predicted that Friday morning they may have just some light showers, maybe scattered showers here or there. But tomorrow night, I'm sorry, not tomorrow night. Well, when the show airs, it'll be tomorrow night. Um, Friday night, it's just going to be cloudy, maybe a possible 24% chance of scattered showers here and there, but nothing to be concerned about.
Well, if that's the case, this is going to be a time where Auburn's going to have to play control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, and run the football. And you want to keep this as a low possession game as possible. So if they want to win this game, they're going to have to run the football efficiently and keep the ball out of Baylor's hands and their top playmakers over there.
All right. All right. I agree with you 100%. Also, um, those numbers that we have for the line that we have there.
is 2.5 in his favor for Auburn,
Right.
and the over and under is I want to believe 58.5 is the over and
Mm-hmm.
under,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
I'm correct. So
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go with Baylor.
yeah,
It's gonna be a scratch, you know, kind of a scratch fight with them. Um, I think they can pull it off.
yeah. For right now, this could be upset alert,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be shocked
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
because I do have some concerns for Auburn,
Mm-hmm.
just from offensive wise. Yeah.
Right. 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 All right. That afternoon, we got Alabama at Florida State University, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and they're going to be at Tallahassee. Boy, this is going to be a nice one. I don't know, but I'm not going to sit and say that Florida State is got all their eggs in the basket and they got it going on this season, but I do kind of see a little they're pulling themselves up out of a ditch here with some players. Maybe you can expand on that a little bit.
Well, this could go either really good or really bad for them in this game, and I don't have a middle ground for them because it's just so much new
Hmm.
defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator who is Gus Malzahn. So you know who Gus Malzahn is,
Right.
who was the former coach for Auburn in the 2010s. So that's a familiar face for college football fans
Hmm.
and the Alabama fan base. So Gus knows this Alabama team and how they're built and how they're structured. So that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Right.
And you got the mobile quarterback in Thomas Castellanos, who's going to be the quarterback for them for Florida State. And they're going to have to run the football, who is a very dual threat quarterback. You got Rondell Williams in the backfield for Florida State, and they're just going to have to figure out how to run the football against this Crimson Tide defense, who is very, very deep in that defensive side of the field there, especially in the secondary, because they're going to have a hard time really throwing the football against the secondary with DeMonte Jackson and all those young corners over there that they really like over there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's going to be very, very key for them over there is running the football. And on the other side, we need to talk about Ty Simpson, who's going to make his first start for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And he's going to have a good connection with Ryan Williams. So if he has some trouble getting started, he could do bubble screens to Ryan Williams, who was a very phenom player in college football last year. And you just want this Ty Simpson just to get him the football so you could get this Crimson Tide offense grooving and you could get the crowd out of the game in Tallahassee.
Here's an alert that I want to give to you
Okay.
and to anybody that's watching. On Saturday, there is predicted in the weather that there's going to be 67% thunder showers in Tallahassee.
Oh, okay. Now that's going to be very interesting
That's going
because
to change a lot.
so if if it stays rainy like that, then the running game is going to be very interesting.
Hmm.
And Alabama did lose their running back for this game in Jam Miller, so they're going to have to rely on their backups and some of their young guys. So who's going to be able to run the football? It's going to be who controls this game
Hmm.
and who could possibly win it as well. It's going to be who can run the football.
Who can run the football? That's going to be the key. What do we got here for the line and our over and under?
Well, the line for this game is a whopping 13 and a half that is favored for Alabama.
Hmm.
And the over and under is 50.5. It's going to be the over and under for this game.
I'm going to go with Alabama. Um, and you said we're looking at the over and under
It's 50.5.
50.5. Ah, yeah. They probably could do it. Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough one because this is the first game, you know. But
I could see it being under on the line with 13 and a half. I could see Alabama winning by 10 points
Yeah,
just because you got the new quarterback and it could go either way.
it could
But
go either way.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I don't see this as a blowaway. Is what you're saying? I mean, I don't see this as a a shutout, like it's going to be 27-0 or something like that. I mean, I don't see that.
I don't
I don't see
think it
anything.
will, but I would be shocked if it was.
Well,
Yeah, I'll just say that.
this is one of them games. Let's just watch and see what's
Yeah,
going to
just
happen. You know, not to mention they're talking about rain and this and that and so forth. And you mentioned about the running game. This is one of those. Let's just kind of watch and see what's going on here.
and this is a big game for Mike Norvell. It's probably going to be still some tension with Alabama because they got picked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
from 2 years ago. So this
Yeah.
this this got some tensions in it. So that's going to be a very
That's
interesting
going to
game.
be a very interesting game. All right, this is the one that a lot of the SEC folks, and I know especially the folks in Louisiana, has been talking about all year long. LSU versus the Clemson Tigers. They're going to be playing in Clemson.
Yeah, it'll be Clemson, South Carolina.
The time that we have for that game is going to be 7:30 Eastern, and boy, there's a lot to talk about on this one.
Okay, if you want to talk about quarterback battles, the one you'll see the most hype for this past off season, you're gonna see two quarterbacks that have stuck around with their same team that you really don't see in this transfer portal era with Clay Klubnik for Clemson and Garrett Nussmeier for LSU. So you're gonna see two guys that stuck around with their first teams all through their college career. So you got two experienced guys that were very productive for their teams last year, and it's going to see who could possibly win this matchup, can possibly be the Heisman front runner after this game as well. So there's going to be an interesting matchup between those two as well. And it's going to be one key matchup if you want to talk about this football game, and it's going to be on that offensive line for LSU against that stout Clemson defensive front. And when you talk about this matchup here, you got LSU that bringing in some new guys, some guys that they're kind of in love with. You got Weston Davis and Tyree Adams. They feel really good about those two. You haven't heard really bad things about those two. But you got Braylon Moore at center that they feel really good about that they got from Virginia Tech, who they really love. And Brian Kelly has have very good reviews about him as well. So you got Josh Thompson that you got from Northwestern, who was a Big Ten All Selection for over there as well. So you got experience there. So it's going to be who's going to be this left tackle side. I'm sorry, with his left guard side on this offensive lineman. So we're going to know who that is during the game as well when the kickoff starts.
Weather is going to be very interesting on Saturday night because this is going to be starting at 7:30 Eastern time. It'll be 64 degrees, northeast winds 5 miles per hour, so it's not going to be anything gusty or anything like that. But there is a 24% chance of showers, which, more than likely it's not going to do anything. But we know that it's going to be very nice. Idea football weather in late summer.
Well, speak about that weather, what you say with the percentage of rain there. This game is going to be come down who's going to run the football as well. So you see in a pattern with these matchups that who can run the football and control the line of scrimmage, who could be the more physical team, who can win those one-on-one battles up front is going to be the indicator who wins the football game and who can limit the turnovers as well. That's going to be two factors in this game and say who is going to control those two parts of the game is going to win this football game.
Okay, and we also need to talk about the elephant in the room. And he's taking up a lot of space, and that is Brian Kelly has to win this game. He has had a track record of losing his first game of the season since he's been at LSU.
Well, in the fact you haven't even before Brian Kelly, you haven't won an opener since 2019.
Right,
So it goes back even 3 years before that. So
right. So there's a monkey on his back
Well, on this program
in general.
in
Yeah.
general. So
Yeah. So this is one of the things that has the LSU fans kind of in knots because they're saying, we have got to win this game. We have got to win this game. And I know that he's got a lot of pieces now on offense as well as defense because you've got Harold Perkins that's coming back. Um, you've got a lot of players on your offense that's coming back. You're going to have Chris Hilton. You're going to have um, just a whole host of folks. Okay, he's got all the pieces now. If they win this game on Saturday night, there is no excuse for LSU not only not to make the playoffs, but to go to the SEC championship and knock it out and win it. There's no excuse.
well, it it all comes down to this when you think about LSU. When you think about these watching the past couple of season openers and rewatching them again, yes, they've been kind of thin at certain positions, especially in those important positions on the offensive lineman. The defensive front that has been kind of low and been very young at those spots as well. So they just have to do the little things like running the football, uh, not turning it over on special teams, not committing penalties, not throwing interceptions, just doing the little things that matters in this football game. If
It's
they
got to
could
be a
control,
clean game. It's
if
got to be a clean game.
it's got to be a clean game and being efficient in most spots.
All right, talk to me about the over and the under and the line.
The over and under on this game is 57.5, and the line for this game is favored for Clemson at 2.5.
They're expecting this to be a knockout
Yeah,
drag out.
same with the other games as well.
You
So
know what? I'm gonna stick my head out there and say LSU. I'm sorry.
yeah, if
I'm gonna stick my head out there and say LSU.
if they could do one thing, if they could have a running game that could just balance this offense out and have key stops on defense, I think they could come out
They
with
could
the
come
they
out with
come
that.
out with the
They
win.
could come out with that. All right, let's move on. We got our final one for the evening, but not the last one of all the old weekend because it's a lot going on this weekend, folks. Starting on Thursday night and ending on Sunday.
You got Notre Dame versus Miami, and I'm just glad to see this rivalry
Me
back.
too.
And
Me too.
you when you think of this matchup, this is
This goes
top
back.
peak college football. When you think
Mm-hmm.
about Notre Dame and Miami, convicts versus Catholics, if you really think about it.
I know. I
So,
know.
was it that time again for this game?
The time here is 7:30 Eastern, and they're going to be playing at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. And folks, I am looking forward to this one, and I know everybody down in Miami is as well. Tell me a little bit about this one, Aaron.
Well, Notre Dame will bring in a new starting quarterback in C.J. Carr. And on the other side, you have the veteran quarterback is Carson Beck. So you got inexperience versus experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be very interesting with that battle as well. And for CJ's Carr's sake, he does have a guy in Jeremiah Love. So if Notre Dame needs to run the football, you have Jeremiah Love to settle the guy in and be that key factor for this offense where they can settle it down for the quarterback and give him in a rhythm and get this offense where they can be balanced where the quarterback can settle into the game as well. And on the other side, you have Carson Beck. How does he settle on his new team with the Hurricanes? And he's gonna have some new receivers. I'm sorry, with C.J. Daniels. You have some guys returning on that in that offensive wide receiver room, and you have a good offensive alignment with Miami as well. So you got to have better protection than you did in Georgia, where Georgia struggled on that offensive line with injuries and a kind of inexperience. So you have the offensive protection to
Mm-hmm.
keep you clean and upright.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the key factor. Can they keep Carson Beck upright and clean and protect them from the defensive front? And on this Miami side of the defensive side, you're gonna have to get some stops
Mm-hmm.
because there were times last year in the Georgia Tech game and some of the Virginia Tech game, you couldn't get stops, and you couldn't just you just couldn't get off the field when you needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be another key part. You do have a good transfer in Zach Prizer that you got from Jacksonville State, who's very coveted and was very consistent for that team over there. So he's going to be a key part on that defensive side of football.
Right, right. Okay, here's a weather alert. Here's a weather alert. Okay, on Sunday night, it is going to be, or at least it's predicted to be, 77 degrees, 58% thunderstorms.
See a lot of rain in these games, so
Right.
that's another game. We got to run the football.
Got to run the football.
So that's in Notre Dame's favor. So if it's raining, you got to love that for Marcus Freeman, so they could go and do that. Number one thing is running the football with Jeremiah Love
Mm-hmm.
and getting those running backs involved. So that falls right in your favors if you can get some rain in this game.
Right.
If you're Marcus Freeman.
Right. Right. All right. Talk to me about the line and the over and under.
The line for this game is 2.5 again. That is favored for Notre Dame, and the over and under is 49.5.
If it's raining, I wouldn't go that high. I'd do the under.
Yeah.
If it's raining.
If it's raining, like a good amount of rain, then I'll take the under.
Yeah.
And would you take the line? So,
Nah, I'd take the under if it's raining. If it's not, I would do the line.
yeah, I can see
But
this.
I don't know. I don't. This is kind of a flip of a coin for me. I'm like this. My head is telling me Notre Dame, but my eyes is telling me you better watch Miami. You know what? You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
It's a flip of a coin for me.
Yeah, I can see this going because you got Carson Beck
Right.
on the other side.
And that's what's got me looking.
I can see this being low scoring, probably 23-20.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes that key mistake, or does the quarterback for Notre Dame, C.J. Carr, make that key mistake in his first start? That's going to be
Yeah.
the turnover battle is going to be key.
That's going to be key.
Yeah.
That's going to be key. That's going to be key. Again, I would go with the under.
I will too.
Yeah.
At 49.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's raining, but if not, then
And what a win this would be for Mario Cristobal if they could beat Notre
yes.
Dame. And a good coach in Marcus Freeman. You took Notre Dame to the national championship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like the state of that program for the Fighting Irish. But what a big win this will be for your momentum if you're Mario Cristobal.
Right. Right. It would be wonderful for him to win at home. But then, of course, we're talking about Notre Dame. So this is a classic.
Yeah, it will. And I can see it going
Either
in
way.
multiple ways.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way. So that's going to be a good one to watch Sunday night. All right. All right. This has been fun, folks. We are so excited that you joined us. I'm telling you, this is going to be an epic year. You thought last year was fun. This year is going to be outstanding with so many great matchups. We've got players that are out there this year that are absolutely dynamic, and it's just going to make it so much fun. And we're going to be right there with you.
Yes,
and
we
we're
will.
going to bring you everything that we can each week. Of course, we've been out some of the summer, but now we're back. We're ready to go, and we're going to bring it with you. Listen, if this is your first time joining us, we really appreciate you coming and watching us and listening to us. Listen, click that like button. Click that subscribe button and share our content and tell everybody about us. Then, if you're back with us and you've been following us, hey, thanks for joining us. And listen, come back for more. Again, this is Joe. I'm here with Aaron. This is College Football Showtime. We thank you so much for joining us. And listen, we've got another show for you next week. Enjoy the weekend.
Peace.